श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभः निर्विघ्नं गुरु मे देव सर्वकार्ये सर्वदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषयपूरोगिणां निधे सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्ते नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नमो धर्माय भदे नमः कृष्णाय वेदसे ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमस्कृत्य धर्मान् वक्ष्यामि शाश्वताम्। ॐ नमो भगवते तस्मै व्यासाय विदते यस्य प्रसादात् वक्ष्यामि नारायणकथामिवाम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. So we were looking at Duryodhana trying to convince Shalya why he should take the role of Sarathi, the charioteer, for Karna, because Karna says that I have everything equal to Arjuna or superior to Arjuna, only I don't have a Krishna on my side. So that's the one gap I have. So he asks Shalya, and Shalya scolds him, and then Shalya agrees, but Duryodhana was explaining why he should be like that, and we looked at Tripura, destruction of Tripuras, the golden, the silver and iron cities that were created by Taraka's sons. So that was destroyed by Bhagavan when Brahma became the charioteer. So Duryodhana explains that, and he says that just like that Brahma became the charioteer, you also became the charioteer today and hold the reins of these horses of Karna, and you became victorious, bring the victory to us. And also he says that there is another story which I will narrate you today. A Brahmana, virtuous Brahmana, recited this in front of my father, and hearing these delighted words, you will also achieve what should be good here. And he says that in the race of Bhrigus, Jamadagni, great. Jamadagni was performing, born, and then he was performing great ascetic penances. And he had a son with great energy, every virtue, who became celebrated by the name of Rama, Parashurama, commonly known as. Right? And that Rama, practicing austere penances, cheerful, he was very happily performed. He was bound to observance of the vows of vratas and observances, and is keeping senses under control. He gratified Bhagavan Mahadeva Bhava himself for obtaining the weapons. And in consequence of his devotion and tranquility of his heart, Mahadeva becomes very gratified with him, and Shankara, understanding the desire cherished in his heart, showed in front of that Rama. And showing himself in front of Rama, Bhagavan asked him, O Rama, I am gratified with you. Your desires are known to me. Make your Atma pure, and you will then have all what you desire. I will give you all the weapons when you have become pure. So those weapons burn a person that are incompetent and that are not deserving them. So like this Mahadeva says, he says that I will give you the weapons, but you have to be pure, you have to be controlled. So once you become that, I will give you that. So when he addresses that, Rama, bending his head, he worshipping Mahadeva, he says that, so give me those weapons, that I am always devoted to your service. I am, you will regard me fit to hold them. Give me when you think that I am fit to hold them, give me those weapons. So saying that, Rama agrees, and then he continues his penances, restraining his senses, observing the vows, worshipping, and offering, and with the sacrifices, homas, and with mantras. Rama adores Sharva for many long years, and at last Mahadeva was pleased with him again, and uh, he was very much pleased, and he comes with Uma, and then he says to Uma that this Rama is a firm vows, is always devoted to me, and gratified with him, Bhagavan Shankara repeatedly gives virtues in the presence of Devatas and Rishis. He proclaims the virtues of Rama. And meanwhile, Devatas become very strong. Meanwhile, Daityas become very strong, and blinded by the pride and folly, they started attacking, troubling Devatas in the Swarga. And Devatas then uniting together, they went to Mahadeva, and Mahadeva who was with Uma at that time, they began to gratify him with devotion, saying that kill our enemies. And then Mahadeva promised them the destruction of Daityas, and he calls Rama. And Rama coming there, Mahadeva addresses him, saying that, "Oh, Bhrugu's descendant, oh Bhargava, kill all these uh, assembled enemies, the enemies of these assembled devatas, kill all of them from desire of doing good to these devatas and for my world, for the world, and for my satisfaction, do that." So when he addresses that, Rama replies to him saying that, "What strength I have to defeat the enemies of the devatas itself, what strength I have in the battle to kill them. I don't have any invincible weapon with me or anything like that. I am not accomplished to do that." Mahadeva says that, "Go at my command, you will be successful, do that and defeat the enemies." So then hearing that, Rama accepts and he goes after the Daityas and Danavas, and he has a battle with them for many years, and then he tells the Daityas that, "You are fierce in battle, give me a battle. I've been sent by the Mahadeva himself to defeat you." And then the Daityas began to fight, and the Bhargava Rama killing the Daityas in that battle with the stroke of touch of his weapons. He came back to Mahadeva and destroyed those Daityas and defeated them, and he came to Mahadeva. And then he returned to that Mahadeva after returning, after creating many wounds on those Danavas. He returns, and touched by Stanu himself, the wounds on Parashurama's body as well, they all disappear. They all healed immediately when Bhagavan Shiva touches him. All the wounds healed, and gratified also with this achievement, Bhagavan gave him various kinds of boons. And he also said that the pain you have suffered in consequence of those weapons falling on you, all those has been disappeared. As you desire, accept me from all these divine weapons, celestial weapons. So like this, Bhagavan Mahadeva grants all those weapons to Rama, Bhargava Rama Jamadagneya. He grants all the weapons to Rama, and obtaining that weapons and taking permission from him to leave, Rama leaves that place, and Duryodhana, narrating this story, tells that this is the old story the Rishi has recited in front of my father, and that Rama gave that entire science knowledge of those weapons to Karna. And if Karna had any fault, like you say, O Shalya, in him, if he had any fault in him, then Rama would never give such a weapons to Karna. And Parashurama is gave all those to Karna. That means, do not think that Karna could have been born in a Suta class. I don't think like that. He's definitely not. I think he probably a son of a Devata or born in a Kshatriya class. He must be a Kshatriya Varna, he must have been born. So that's why, do not think, hesitate. And I think he was abandoned. Duryodhana again guesses here. Okay, what happened to Karna probably? He says that he was probably born of a Devata and he was born in a Kshatriya woman. And he probably was abandoned in his infancy itself. Uh, so that's what might have happened. By no means Karna could have been born in a Suta class, Suta family. His natural earrings and natural coat of mail, this Karna, who has a long arms resembling Surya himself, could not have been born by he could not have been carried by a common woman. Even just like a female deer cannot carry a tiger in its stomach. Just like that, Karna could not have been carried by a common woman. She must have been carried by a Kshatriya woman and through the blessings of a Devata. And his arms are massive. This Karna's arms are massive and each resembling a trunk of an elephant. See him chest so broad and he is resisting every enemy. Karna, also known as Vaikartana, cannot be an ordinary person. So he is the Shishya of Rama. He is of high birth, definitely. So Duryodhana continues, he says, even like this, the uh, uh, Devata Brahma himself acted previously for Rudra, you become the driver, charioteer of this chariot, and then carry this. And just like the Shankara granted the weapons to Rama, and Rama granted that to Karna, this Karna is the one who is going to destroy the Pandavas. So hold the reins. Like this, he once again asked Shalya, and Shalya already agreed. And with these stories, Shalya says that many times I have heard these excellent and divine stories recited to me of those two devatas, Brahma and Rudra, and also Rama and Rudra. This has been heard by me many times, and I have heard how Brahma acted as a charioteer for Bhava himself, in that Asuras were destroyed with one arrow. And Shalya also says that Krishna also had this knowledge before this battle started, and that's why he became the charioteer. And Krishna knows past, present, and future. He knows everything. And knowing this fact, he became the charioteer of Arjuna, just like Brahma became the charioteer of Rudra. If Karna, by some means succeeding in killing Arjuna, Krishna, uh, if he succeeds in killing Arjuna, then Krishna, seeing Arjuna killed, he will fight himself. And when Krishna comes to the battle, there is no king here that will be able to face up to him when he is angry. So think that one as well. So like this, Shalya warns Duryodhana, saying that even if Karna becomes successful in killing Arjuna, this is not the end, because Krishna will become angry and he will come after you. So Sanjay continues his narration to Dhritarashtra. He says that when Shalya said that Duryodhana, he said that do not think despairingly of Karna in this battle. He is acquainted with all the weapons and the shastras and everything. He knows everything. And hearing the loud and terrible twang of his bow and the sounds of his palm, Pandava troops definitely will fly away. They will run on all the sides, all the directions. You have witnessed in your own eyes how Gatotkacha, who was screened by his illusions, displaying hundreds of types of illusion, was killed in that night by Karna. And also, uh, feeling great fear all these days, Arjuna could never stand in front of Karna because of the weapon he had. And then mighty Bhima as well was moved here and there by the horn of Karna's bow in that battlefield, and he was addressed with harsh words like fool, glutton, and things like that. He was addressed by Karna in the battlefield. And then both sons of Madri, Nakula, Sahadeva as well, they have been defeated by Karna in that great battle. But Duryodhana here tells Shalya that even though for some object he had in view, he did not kill them. Okay, so Duryodhana still don't know why Karna did not kill Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva, even though he could have killed them. He did not do. Duryodhana says that I don't know why he did not kill, but for some object he did not, for some reason he did not kill them in that battle. And then Satyaki as well has been defeated by Karna and made chariotless in that battle as well. And all the Srinjayas headed by Drishtadhyumna have been defeated repeatedly by Karna in the battlefield. So even when he is in the battle, he is like Indra himself. So yourself as charioteer, yourself also very acquainted with all the weapons. You are again master of all the branches of the learning. You know, there is none equal to you in the strength of arms, and you are irresistible prowess itself. And you are also like a Shalya unto the enemies. So Shalya means it's an arrow, dart. And so he says that you are like an arrow to the enemies itself. That's why enemies and everybody calls you as Shalya. So encountering your might of your arms, all the Shashvatas will be unable to bear and they will run from. And then Duryodhana once again asks and says to Shalya that is Krishna superior to in your in strength? Indeed, Krishna is able to bear great burden of Pandava troops when slaughtered by Arjuna. He is able to bear that, but You bear the burden of this Kaurava force. If Karna lays down his life, then you hold the reins and you become the uh, you became, because your arms are so strong. And why should he be able to resist my troops? Why should not be able to kill the hostile troops like that? So for your sake, I am willingly follow your footsteps. I will follow you with my brothers and all the kings killed here. I will also follow to wherever we go. Finally, I will follow. I will do whatever you say. So, like this, he addresses Shalya, and Shalya then says that when you describe me in front of your troops as someone uh, superior to Devaki's son Krishna, when you describe like that, I'm exceedingly gratified by what you are saying, and I will accept this chariot charioteer role in of this Karna when he will fight Arjuna. I will do, and I will do as you desire. However, again, I have a agreement to make with Karna, and that is I will utter whatever the words that I may wish, and in this the Karna's presence, I will say whatever I want to do, whatever I want to say. He should not say anything. He should not do anything to me. So when he says that Karna and Duryodhana answered to Shalya saying that so be it, and in the presence of all the Kshatriyas, Shalya acceptance, showed by Shalya's acceptance, Duryodhana was filled with joy and he embraced Karna, and with everybody praising them, Duryodhana and Karna, Duryodhana once more addressed Karna saying that kill all the Pandavas with the Panchalas and everybody, just like Indra destroyed the Danavas. He says that, and then Shalya, having accepted that whole office of role of that holding the reins of the horses of Karna, with cheerful heart, once more addresses Duryodhana, saying that Duryodhana once more, the Karna once more addresses Duryodhana. He says that Shalya does not say very cheerfully what he says. So you once more ask him with sweet words. So then Duryodhana once more addresses Shalya, speak to him once more with voice, deep voice, and he tells him that, oh Shalya, Karna thinks that he should fight with Arjuna today, and you hold the reins of Karna's horses. Having killed all the other warriors, Karna desires to kill Arjuna himself today. I request you repeatedly in the matter of holding these reins of these horses. I request you repeatedly, as Krishna is foremost among all the charioteers, just like and is the counselor of Arjuna. Even so, you protect Karna from every danger in that battlefield. So, like this, Duryodhana once more request in front of everybody, and embracing Duryodhana, Shalya joyfully answers, and he says that this is what you think. I shall for that accomplish that what is agreeable to you. Whatever acts I may be fit, I will do that wholeheartedly because that's the promise I made. Let Karna, however, and yourself pardon me for all those things that I said when you asked me to become a charioteer. So both of you pardon me for whatever I said, and we'll move on. So Karna says that Shalya, be you ever you always engaged in good of Brahman and in that of Ishana and Keshava, just like previously Brahma was holding the reins of Rudraj and Keshava holding the reins of Partha's horses, just like that you engage in this duty. And Shalya agrees and he says that the four conducts, that is self-rebuke, self-praise, speaking ill of others, and adulations or praise of the others, that are never practiced by those that are respectable. But however, I will say today, for inspiring confidence of the self-praise, which I'm going to do now, listen carefully. Even though this is not acceptable, respectable, I will still do it because to inspire confidence here. And Shalya says that just like Matali himself, I am fit to act as a charioteer, even if Indra in the chariot and managing the. I'm very good in managing the horses, just like Matali in knowledge, in coming danger, and in the means of avoiding it, and in competence to avoid it in practice, and so on. In all those things, I'm very competent. When you will be engaged with Partha, I will hold the reins of these horses. Let your anxiety be dispelled, O Karna. Like this, Shalya responds. Duryodhana says that this Karna will act. Uh, uh, Duryodhana addresses Karna and he says that, O Karna, this Shalya will act as your charioteer, who is and he is superior to Krishna, like Matali himself, who is the charioteer of Indra. And like Matali takes the management of the chariot unto which the horses of Indra are attached, just like that, Shalya will be the driver, charioteer of the horses of your chariot today. Be yourself as a warrior of that vehicle which was driven by Shalya himself of great strength. So like this he addresses, and then when the morning came, so again all this discussion happened in the evening, the end of 16th day, and then when the morning came, Duryodhana once more addresses Shalya with great who addresses him, and he says that once again asks him to continue and remind him that what you need to do. And he says that protected by you, Karna will definitely defeat Arjuna today. And when he says that, Karna, Shalya agrees. And then Shalya approaches the chariot. Karna, with cheerful heart, addresses his charioteer, that is Shalya, saying that quickly equip this chariot of me, and having duly equipped with all the chariot with everything of best of its type, all the weapons and everything. Let's prepare. And then Shalya says that victory to you, and I will do all those things. And then Karna duly worships that chariot, and then sanctified by the mantras, by the Brahmanas, he goes around that chariot doing a namaskara, and then carefully adorning for worshipping Surya, he addresses the Shalya saying that ascend this chariot. And then Shalya and they both ascend that chariot, just like Surya and Agni. They were in that battlefield prepared for that. So then everybody started singing praise on them, and then Karna stood on that chariot, whose reins, horses were held by Shalya. So they were ready to go and stationed again in that chariot. Karna with his arrows, considering he was preparing for that battle. Duryodhana tells these words. He says that, Karna, you achieved those things today, accomplishment today, which Bhishma and Drona have not achieved in front of everybody. I have always believed that those two, Bhishma and Drona, would without doubt kill Arjuna and Bhima in the battle, but they could not. So, like Indra himself in this great battle, you go and achieve what was not achieved by those two, either seizing Yudhishthira or killing Arjuna and Bhima and the twins. You do achieve those things today. Victory be yours, like this he wishes, and he says that reduce those troops of Pandavas to ashes. So like this he wishes him, and then thousands of trumpets, drums, and all that sounded together. That noise filled the sky. Accepting those words of Duryodhana, Karna addresses Shalya, saying that take these horses so that I may kill Arjuna and Bhima and both Nakula Sahadeva, King Yudhishthira today. Let Arjuna see today the strength of my arms when I am engaged in shooting arrows with these kanka feathers with hundreds and thousands. Let him see that today I will shoot the arrows with great energy for destruction of the Pandavas and victory of Duryodhana. Like this, Karna tells Shalya, and Shalya responds saying that, "O Suta's son, why do you think uh, so low of those Pandavas, all of whom are having great energy and strength or great boom, and they are acquainted with every weapon? Why do you think so low of them? Those Pandavas are untreating. They are of great good fortune. They are invincible and of strength incapable of being baffled. They are capable of inspiring fear in the heart of Indra himself. So when, O Karna, you hear the twang of Arjuna in the battle that resembles like a peal of thunder itself, you will not then utter such speeches. When you see Arjun, when Yudhishthira and the Nakula Sahadeva causing a canopy of arrows, sharp arrows, and other invincible kings on the Pandava army who are shooting the arrows and covering the enemy, then you will not utter these words. So, like this, Shalya tells Karna, and disregarding those words of Shalya, Karna tells him that proceed. So, seeing the Karna take up the station from desire of battle, the Kauravas filled with delight, uttering loud shouts on every side. They were preparing drums and all the diverse kind of musical instruments or uh, mm, sounds were making from them. So all the troops proceeded to the battle, making death as the only point at which they would stop or the victory. So when Karna set out and the warriors of Kuru army were filled with joy, the earth trembled, the seven great planets, all the planets, including Surya, seemed to proceed against one another for the combat. It looked like that. And uh, meteoric shower became noticeable, and all the directions became seemed like a blazing. Thunders fell from a cloudless sky. Fierce wind began to blow. Animals and birds in large numbers kept Dhritarashtra's army on the right side, forbidding great calamities that was going to appear. So the ill omens started appearing. And Karna had set out. His horses tumbled down on the earth. The frightful shower of bones fell from the sky. The weapons of Kuru warriors seemed to be burning. Their standards trembled. Their animals shed copious amount of tears, and also then these and many other terrible evil omens appeared for the destruction of the Kurus. And Sanjay says that stupefied by destiny, none of them regarded those omens at all. They did not count any of them. They just moved on because of they were confused by the destiny and what was going to happen, their prarabdha. And seeing Karna setting out, all the rulers, all the Kaurava army cried out for his victory. Kauravas regarded Pandavas as already defeated, seeing Karna with Shalya as the charioteer. And Karna, as he stayed on this chariot, recollecting the death of Bhishma and Drona, he became he was recollecting those battles Bhishma and Drona and had and how they lost their lives. He was reflecting again the great achievements of Arjuna and burning with shame and self-conceit and pride as well, and blazing with anger and breathing long, hard, he addresses Shalya, saying that when stationed on my chariot, armed with my bow, I would not take fright at Indra himself. If he comes in front of me, I'm not afraid, I'm going to be afraid. Seeing those great heroes headed by Bhishma laying in the battlefield, don't feel any anxiety. So don't be worried about that. Seeing even faultless Bhishma and Drona equal to Indra and Vishnu himself were defeated in this battlefield. So I do not still experience any fear in this battlefield. Again, acquainted with mighty weapons and himself foremost of the Brahmanas, why indeed did not Drona kill all the enemies, seeing them destroy the mightiest of the kings and the elephants and chariot? I don't know. Remembering that Drona in that great battle, I truly tell you, listen to me, the Kauravas, there is none amongst you save myself who is competent to face Arjuna. So how Drona battled and Bhishma battled against Arjuna, I'm pretty sure nobody able to face except me. That Arjuna nobody can face here on our side. And again in Drona, there were the skills of attend and practice, the might, bravery, highest weapons and policy, everything was there. When even that Drona had to succumb to death, I regard everybody in our army strengthless and at the point of death. So in this world, I do not find anyone, even on reflection, to be stable in consequence of inevitable connection of the karmas, of the actions. So when Drona himself is dead, who then will indulge in such a certain belief that he will live till even today for to see the sunrise? So when Drona was killed in that battlefield, without doubt, weapons, uh, ordinary and divine, and the might and the prowess, the achievements, the wise policy, all of them are no use. So the energy of Drona was equal to Surya himself, Agni himself. In prowess, he was radiant like Vishnu or Indra himself. In policy, he was like Brihaspati or Shukra. He was irresistible as always. Weapons could not yet protect him. And when our women and children are weeping with loud wails of Dhritarashtra that has been defeated, killed, O Shalya, it is I who am going to fight now and proceed therefore against the enemies. Who else save myself will be able to bear these troops who were stationed against those enemies stationed by Yudhishthira himself with Bhima, Arjuna, Satyaki, and then Nakula Sahadeva and everybody, to Drishtadyumna and everybody, Srinjayas, everybody against there, standing there. So encountering them is in that battle, either I will kill them or myself will go to Yama's presence today in the path of Drona. So do not think, Shalya, I will not go into the very middle of those heroes. I will definitely go in to deep into that array that Pandavas are forming. These intestine dissensions cannot be tolerated by me. It has to end, and I will end it today. Wise or ignorant, when the period has when his one's period is run out, one time has run out, everybody is equally regarded by the destroyer, and nobody can escape. Everybody has to die. But I am unable to transgress that destiny, whatever that may be. So the uh, Dhritarashtra's son is always engaged in doing good for me, and for accomplishing his purpose, I will cast away my last life breath if that's what it takes. So this great chariots covered with tiger skin, with axle producing no sound, equipped with golden seat, having Trivenu made of silver, and having best of the horses tied to it, which Parashurama gave to me. So seeing all this, these beautiful bows, these standards, these maces, these arrows, these fierce forms, the blazing sword, this mighty weapons, this white conch shell of fierce and loud blare, see all this, Shalya, riding upon this chariot decked with banner, its wheels producing deep rattle, like a thunder itself, having white horses yoked onto it and adorned with excellent quivers, I will put forth my might today for killing that Arjuna. If death himself comes there to protect Arjuna, I will still encounter him in the fight and I will kill him, or myself will go to Yama's place in the presence of Drona and Bhishma. If Yama, Varuna, Kubera, Indra, all of them come here united together for rescuing Arjuna, still I will go and defeat Arjuna today. So, like this, Karna speaks very bravely and proudly of his strength and how he's going to battle, even all considering all those things that happened in this battle up to now. Hearing these words, Karna bragging himself, and which Karna was very exceedingly delighted himself at the prospect of that battle that was going to take place. And Shalya listened to all this and deriding him, laughed out aloud, and he then responds. He says that forbear, forbear, stop it, Karna, stop it. Such a bragging. You are you are in transport of delight and saying what you should never say. Where is Dhananjaya? that best among the men, and where are you again, lowest of the men? Who else save Arjuna could take away the younger sister of Keshava, uh, that best among all the men and devatas, that Keshava himself take his sister. He abducted his sister forcibly from Yadu's home, protected by the younger brother protected by Indra's brother, that is Vishnu himself. That Yadavas were protected from there. Arjuna took Subhadra. So, what man save Arjuna with prowess equal to Indra himself could cause on the occasion of dispute by the slaughter of animals, he could summon Shiva himself to the battle. Arjuna did that. And for the sake of honoring Agni, this Jaya had vanquished the Asuras, Devatas, and the Uragas, men, the birds, Pishachas, Yakshas, everybody, the Rakshasas, everybody with his arrows, he defeated everybody and gave all that to Agni as food as he desired. And you remember that, Karna. And then the when this Arjuna liberated Duryodhana himself from along with all the other Kurus, he released them. Do you remember when yourself having the first run away from Duryodhana, that Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana, and when he was liberated from those Gandharvas, Chitrasena, Chitraratha, and others, when he was defeated, Chitraratha, when he was seized, and Duryodhana was released by Arjuna when you ran away. Well, you were the first one to run away. And when that Virata's cows were seized by the Kauravas, so then Arjuna alone battled with you, Bhishma, Drona, Ashwatthama, and all the other warriors together. He battled. Why, Karna, you did not defeat Arjuna at that time? So Shalya asked him, if you are such a strong person, why you did not defeat him at that time? For your destruction, another excellent battle has now come. So if you do not fly away just like you did previously, you will be killed today in the battle. So like this, Shalya says that you talk too much, stop it now. A battle opportunity has come to die, go and die. If you decide not to run away from this battle, you will be death is your wish. So that's the only thing you are going to achieve, like Shalya says. When Shalya addresses with those harsh speeches, Karna becomes even more angry, excited with anger. He says to Shalya, saying that, let it be so, let it be so. Why, however, you are indulging in Arjuna's prize? A battle about to ensure between myself and him. If he defeats me in the battle, then all your prize will be regarded as well uttered. So, like this, if he defeats, then fine. Otherwise, why talk now? So, like this, he says, and Shalya says, let it be so, and he did not give any reply after that. And Karna, from the desire of fight, he addresses Shalya, saying that proceed, and then the white horses started moving, and then the Shalya, the chariot, proceeded towards the enemy. Karna proceeded. Cheerful heart, he went towards the Pandavas. And after Karna gladdening the Kauravas, he set out for that battle. He spoke unto every Pandava soldier he came across on his way towards, as he was going towards that battlefield. He was telling all those Pandava troops or anybody who was there. Again, remember, not everybody is in the battle, right? For fighting, they may be carrying food, they may be carrying food for the warriors or the horses or the elephants, or they may be carrying the weapons, or they may be carrying medicine and all those other kind of things. They are carriers as well. So if Karna sees anybody on the Pandava side on his way to battle, he was telling them, he today I'm going to have a battle with Arjuna, and I will give you whatever the wealth you desire. If you having got that from satisfied, uh, tell me where Arjuna is today, anybody point me where Arjuna is, I will give you whatever one wishes. If that is not sufficient, I will give him that will discover Arjuna for me. I will give him a cartload of jewels and gems. And also, if that is does not satisfy him, whoever finds me, takes me to Arjuna, I will give him a century, hundreds of cows with many vessels of brass for milking those cows. And I will give 100 foremost best of the villages to him who shows me Arjuna today. I will give him a number of long dressed kanyas, damsels as well, girls as well of black eyed and a chariot on him who shows me Arjuna today, who tells me where Arjuna is. And if that does not satisfy the person who shows me Arjuna, I will give him the best of the chariots made of gold, which him six uh, again for gold of golden cards I will give with six bulls tied onto that, who will be those bulls will be strong as large as elephants. I will give you that. And I will give me 100 damsels as well, decked with ornaments, with collars full of gold, fair complexioned, accomplished in singing and dancing. I will give him that. If that does not satisfy to the person who discovers Arjuna to me, I will give him 100 elephants, 100 villages, 100 chariots, and 1,000 horses of best breed, fat, docile, endued with many excellent qualities, capable of dragging the chariots and well trained. I will give that. And I will also give to that person that discovers Arjuna to me 400 cows, each with golden horns and calves. I will give you that. If that does not satisfy today to the person who, no, if that does not satisfy to the person who discovers Arjuna to me, I will make a more valuable gift 500 horses adorned with trappings of gold, decked with jeweled ornaments and things like that. I will also give 18 other horses of great activity, great speed. And I will also give the person who discovers Arjuna to me a bright chariot made of gold and adorned with diverse ornaments, having foremost of best of Cambodia horses tied onto that. If that does not satisfy the person who discovers Arjuna to me, I will give more valuable gifts, 600 elephants with chains of gold around their necks and covered with housing of gold on top of, so that people can sit. And they were born in western shores of this ocean. On the western shores, they were born and trained by elephant trainers. All those 600 elephants I will give. If that does not satisfy, I will give him, whoever finds me Arjuna today, I will make him a most valuable gift, that is the 14 Vaishya villages. So that is where there is a lot of cows and agriculture can be performed. So those villages I will give, teamed with people full of well situated in a proximity of forest and rivers and things like that. Very uh, uh, good village where you can grow a lot of things, so free from all sort of danger, well furnished with all the necessaries, worthy of being enjoyed by the king. Such a villages, 14 villages I will give. To him who discovers Arjuna and Dhananjaya to me, I will give 100 female slaves with golden collars. That means they are fully having chains and necklaces and everything of gold, belong to the country of Magadha country of 100 females. They are apparently Magadha maids were very good in doing work, okay, household work. So if that does not satisfy the persons that discovers Arjuna to me, I will make more valuable gift that indeed makes himself whatever he wishes. I will give that. So like this, Karna says, he says that sons, wives, articles of pleasure and enjoyment that I have, and these I will give if he desires from them. So whatever I have, I will give that. Whatever he wishes, I will give. If he discovers, if anybody of you tell me where Krishna and Arjuna are, I will go and I will give you, after killing them, I will give you all these things. So like this, Karna tells everybody on his way as he goes to battlefield, he sees anybody of Pandava side, he tells them that show me Arjuna today, show me Krishna today, I will give you this. So if you do that, I will give you after I kill Krishna and Arjuna today. I will do that. So like this, he very proudly he tells about the battle he was going to have today. And when he utters those kind of great speeches, he blows excellent conch shells. And then Karna, he again hearing those words of Karna, Duryodhana and his followers became filled with joy. And then again, they once again started beating cymbals, drums, and making very great shouts and grunts of elephants with sounds of diverse musical instruments and things like that. They were making these shouts again. Warriors filled up with joy arose from all directions. When the Kaurava troops were thus filled with joy, uh, Shalya, laughing in scorn, so he starts telling Karna, was and again who was bragging and who was making all those loud things. Shalya responds to him, and we will look at what Shalya says next time when we gather.